We have actually in the Republican Party, in a true sense, we have great unity.
But that could be tested today in the House. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, it's not clear if Republicans have the votes, but if the House approves the Senate-passed budget plan, lawmakers would have the green light to work on tax reform. The president has been twisting arms.
I did make a couple of calls. I said, fellas, please, no changes. Just pass it along.
Even if the budget passes, the tax reform effort could be in for a bumpy ride, as some fiscal conservatives expressed concerns about adding to the deficit. Dave?
Now, Rachel, Congress will get some answers on a 2010 deal approved by the Obama administration that gave a Russian agency control of 20% of U.S. uranium. A gag order has been lifted on an FBI informant willing to testify.
He might know something about the involvement in the Uranium One of money laundering, fraudulent activity, and bribery. And we ought to know about that.
Republican Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley. Hillary Clinton has said allegations of wrongdoing have been debunked. Long sought by conspiracy theorists and scholars, thousands of documents and files from President Kennedy's assassination have to be released today by law. Only the president could hold some back.
Researchers hope to learn more about the visit paid to Mexico City in September 1963 by Lee Harvey Oswald, the man whom history records as John F. Kennedy's sole assassin. Researchers also want to know more about George Joannides, an undercover CIA officer who on the day of the assassination leaked material to the news media tying Lee Harvey Oswald to Cuban groups.
Fox's James Rosen. President Trump wins in court. A federal judge upholds his order to stop giving subsidies to insurance companies under Obamacare. If you have an Obamacare plan, expect a double-digit premium increase next year. Avalier Health says the most popular silver plans will cost 34% more. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Bo Bergdahl will be back in military court at Fort Bragg today as the Army Sergeant's sentencing hearing continues for deserting his post in Afghanistan, which led to Bergdahl's capture by the Taliban. A Navy SEAL wounded in the search for Bergdahl gave emotional testimony yesterday, and more could come today.
U.S. troops tasked with searching and possibly rescuing Sergeant Bo Bergdahl revealed they spent longer than 10 days deployed in harsh heat with little water and often enduring disease. More than once they endured enemy fire and were wounded. More such stories are expected to be told today when the sentencing hearing resumes. The judge continues to review an earlier defense motion to dismiss the case on account of undue influence. Bergdahl's attorneys maintain the military judge can't be unbiased due to President Trump's repeated comments that Bergdahl is a traitor. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Some members of Congress will get a closed-door briefing today on the ambush attack in Niger earlier this month that killed 4 U.S. soldiers. On Wall Street, stock futures are now rising after yesterday's 112-point Dow drop. An instant classic at the Fall Classic. Houston ties the World Series with a wild Game 2 win.
The Astros trailed the Dodgers 3-1 into the 8th inning last night when they began their comeback. A single by Carlos Correa made it 3-2. Marwin Gonzalez's home run of the 9th forced extra innings. And then Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa hit back-to-back homers in the top of the 10th. But the Dodgers scored twice in the bottom of the 10th, tying it on an Enrique Hernandez 2-out single, only to lose in the 11th when George Springer hit a 2-run home run for the Astros. Dodgers came back with a run in the bottom of the 11th, but Houston prevails 7-6. World Series tied 1 game apiece. Houston will host the next 3 games beginning Friday at Minute Maid Park. At Dodger Stadium, I'm Jared Max, Fox News.
Sheriff's deputies in Florida keep searching for a man who shot a woman in the head as she tried to sell him her iPhone on Sunday. They met and replied to her offer-up ad. Fox News. I'm Dave Anthony.
Here's your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist. From simple to simply magnificent, 2 locations. Village at the Crossing, Champaign, Cunningham, and Urbana. Call 367-ROSE or blossombasket.com. We got Grace in our studio on Thursday for an hour today. She's got an exam later today. Diane also along. Carly Shimkus, what's trending in just a moment. Weather, though, nice today, but getting a little chilly later. Hey, Grace.
Yeah, areas of frost this morning, then sunny with a high of 67. And later on, cloudy and 41 overnight. Mostly cloudy and just 47 for the high tomorrow. Friday night, mostly cloudy with the overnight low down to 33. And homecoming Saturday, mostly cloudy with the high of just 45. And it's currently 36 degrees.
Okay. Probably the greatest Game 2 of the World Series in the history of the World Series. I missed it.
Each team had 4 homers.
Yeah, 8 home runs is a World Series record.
Yeah.
Dodgers lose, and it was their bullpen. So you knew, I guess it was inevitable. Somebody's going to hit them.
Right.
But the Astros got 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and then 2 in the 10th. And then Dodgers tied it with 2, and then Astros got 2 more in the 11th, and Dodgers got 1, and 7-6.
Yeah.
Wow.
So many runs at the end of the game.
Yeah, of course, my DVR ran out of 3.5 hours, which got me to the bottom of the 8th inning, so I missed that. And also fell asleep and was all those things. So anyway, but darn, sounded like it was a really good game.
Exactly.
Wish I'd have seen it.
Especially that last half.
And so I said, I don't know how anybody's going to beat the Dodgers. That's why you don't bet on anything, because now they go back to Houston. The Astros are undefeated at home this year, and the number 1 offense in baseball was the Houston Astros. So here we go, back to Houston. Good luck to the Dodgers as they'll try and win one to take it back to L.A. Don't know. Okay, we're going to do some sports here coming up, but the Fighting Illini basketball team hoping to get Talon Horton, what's his name, Tucker?
6'5".
Yeah.
He's got us as part of 3 choices. Iowa State and Xavier is also in there.
But he's also been offered by Michigan State. Ohio. I always like to know what other big teams offer. And when Michigan State offers, you know makes a pretty good player. Apparently, John Gross didn't really recruit him because of his size. He's 6'5", but may I remind Illini Nation, Nick Anderson was 6'5". One of the greatest players of all time. When he was walking around, he was not eligible his first year, and he was walking around. I just kept looking at him going, what'd Rocky say to Mr. T? You're not so bad. You're not so bad. He didn't look that formidable. He didn't look formidable at all. And Doug Altenberger at the time said if Nick Anderson were eligible to play, one of us wouldn't be playing, and meaning himself. I said, you're kidding. Doug Altenberg, anyway, Nick Anderson was 6'5", so that's how big this guy is, and looks like, I think, again, the vibe feels it's us or Iowa State, and the vibe is feeling like we've made a big push here at the end. So we'll do that coming up. All right, Carly Shimkus, what's trending? We'll do that tonight, 6:30, Simeon High School, for the announcement, and stand by. Jeremy Warner have a lot more after 9 on it, and, of course, Tan Carp leading up to that announcement. Carly Shimkus, what's trending here in a moment. Also, Maria Lucci, one of our favorite parenting experts. The numbers are in, and Grace, you said you're not surprised.
Nope, not at all. I think phones have become like the priority of a younger generation, which is crazy.
Apparently what we're seeing here.
Like
what is the stat now? I guess the question is, do you know how much time your child spends on the mobile device? It's up to about 2 hours a day. I bet more than that.
Oh, I bet way more than that. I think that's absolutely insane, but it doesn't surprise me at all. I think that people just now revolve around phones. And now I see like 10-year-olds addicted to their phones and having Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. And it's like
2 hours a day? How about
having those things?
16 hours a day. I'm not buying 2 hours a day.
I think there's an app that parents can control how much time
online
kids are spending on apps. Okay. So they can disable apps at certain times of the day, which is a good thing.
It's our good friend Carly Shimkus, along with Diane Ducey, my daughter Grace. How are you, Carly?
I'm good. How you doing?
Grace, what did you say when I said that's Carly Shimkus? She said she's...
I was like, I saw her on TV.
And she said she's so pretty. She said,
wow, that means that you were up really early this morning.
She said she's so pretty.
Oh my gosh,
Aw.
yes.
Well, bless your heart.
Oh.
I'll take a compliment. I'll take any compliment I can get. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, so you're hearing Joe Biden might run for president, huh?
Yes, his words, not mine. It's a possibility, at least. So he's reigniting rumors about a future presidential run after he talked to Vanity Fair magazine. When asked if he would run in 2020, he said, "I haven't decided to run, but I've decided I'm not going to decide not to run."
Huh.
Would you like me to say that again? In other words, it's not off the table.
Hey,
So,
80's the new 40, I guess. Because
he looks good.
He looks
He
good.
looks
And
good.
He's like 70 something.
He's turning 75. November 20th is his birthday.
He'd take office
coming
like
up.
78, 79. It'd be a first term. Be the oldest guy by a lot. Wow.
By a lot. I mean, in terms of he looks healthy. He's very tan. That always makes a person look healthy.
Yeah.
But he's also acting like a candidate. He actually formed his very own political action committee called American Possibilities in June. So, could he be the next Democratic candidate? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's still a whole lot of time between now and 2020 to figure all that out, which is why he gave that convoluted answer. But he says that, he is at least considering it.
That would be pay-per-view because Joe says stuff, Donald Trump says stuff. That'd be quite entertaining. So.
Yeah, it would be the ultimate entertainment level that we have to look forward to in a couple of years.
I think Joe Biden once indicated he wanted to beat up Donald Trump like a fight. So why don't we just put him in shorts and put him out there?
Wow,
Yeah.
that would be a scene, a little pay-per-view action.
Now
Maybe
listen.
half the money can go to both candidates for, future campaigning purposes. I think that sounds like a very interesting idea.
I didn't pay $89 for the Mayweather thing, but I might for this. I mean, that would
yeah, definitely.
pretty
The
interesting.
Mayweather thing, we all knew how that was going to end.
Yeah,
This one,
right.
debatable.
Carly Shimkus, what's trending? What about the sexist emoji?
The red stiletto emoticon? Maybe Grace would know.
I know
well.
You know that?
Yes, I'm aware of that one.
The big question is it sexist? A California woman complained about not having a flat shoe option. She says the current list of shoe emoticons are exclusionary and don't represent all women. She says she wants to add a ballet flat icon so that her daughters can be proud to wear flat shoes. So she actually asked a subcommittee, the folks that decide what emoticons are added to our smartphones, if there could be a flat ballet shoe option.
Yeah,
so they're actually considering it. That flat ballet shoe is currently on the list of emoji finalists for 2018. This woman complained, and she just might get her way.
According to the University of Illinois and all campuses, it's called microaggression, Carly. You can't even ask people where they got their shoes. Yeah, how dare you?
Microaggression? It might be.
No, you can't. You cannot ask people where they got their shoes because they'll say, "Oh, you're making me feel inferior because they're not expensive, and I feel bad now, and you microaggressed me."
Yeah, that's crazy talk. This woman who complained about the high heel stiletto, I think she's got a lot of time on her hands.
No kidding.
Because,
100%.
ballet flats are great, but there's nothing wrong with a pair of high heels either. I think they're also professional-looking shoes.
I thought about a promotion, and we'd call it "What's on Your Shoes?" The winner would pick out any pair of shoes up to $1,000. And by the way, you can spend thousands on high heels.
Oh, I know that.
I've seen those online.
They're the best kind.
Doesn't your back hurt, though, after a long time, Carly, on those things?
Nah, you got to just stick with it. Even if it does, if it makes you look good, you just got to roll through the pain. It's all worth it.
I remember my grandma Ruth Ducey saying, "You don't really look good unless you have pain somewhere."
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
exactly. Like, I got fake eyelashes glued onto my eyes right now, extensions in my hair.
Yeah.
High-heeled shoes.
Hey, man, I'm
It's all
telling
part of
you,
the job.
we love radio. Woohoo! Yeah, right on. Even though you can watch us on YouTube every morning, it's kind of a fish in an aquarium thing. Anyway,
cool.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not.
tune in.
Some people, kind of look at that stuff and just kind of stare, but I don't understand it at all. But anyway, Carly, you're the best. We do like watching. What time do you wake up? 1?
Oh, my gosh, probably My first alarm goes off at 1:30. I'm rolling out of bed around 1:45.
Wow. It's not just like you're out of bed. You got to look like you. I mean, man.
I get a little bit of help with that.
Well, I know, but you still have to sit there and stay awake. I mean, come on.
God bless you. Thank you. Your job is even harder because you got how much time to fill? 3 hours?
No, listen. It better than waking up at 1:30. What time do you go to bed?
Yeah, I don't sleep a lot. Is really the issue, which is essentially why I have the fake hair glued onto my eyeballs.
Carly, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot.
You bet. Carly Shimkus out in New York City. What's trending? That'd be a fun job.
That would be a fun
job. Of course, 1:30 wouldn't be any good.
Right.
I feel like at some point, if you're in that kind of market, you got all sorts of weird schedules going on.
Just to try to pay your dues and get your foot in the door.
You could be in Siberia. It's still 1:30 in the morning, and it doesn't. You wouldn't enjoy New York, would you? I guess you could on your day off, but then you try and sleep past 1:30.
Yeah.
All right,
your schedule's just messed up for the rest of the week.
It would be tough. All right, sports headlines. Diane's here. Gracie's here for an hour. What do you got, Grace?
Another big day for the Fighting Illini basketball program. Chicago Simeon senior Talon Horton Tucker will announce his commitment at 6:30 this evening at Simeon High School. Horton Smith has been offered by Michigan State, Purdue, Minnesota, and Ohio State, among others. But his final 3 schools are Xavier, Iowa State, and Illinois. The fate of the 6-foot, 5-inch forward and the number 2 player in the state will be decided tonight at 6:30. It's being called the best game in Game 2 in World Series history. The Houston Astros came from behind and beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in 11 innings last night in L.A. Jared Max has our recap.
This is why they call it the Fall Classic. Houston strong, Houston resilient. The Astros trailed the Dodgers 3-1 into the 8th inning last night when they began their comeback. A single by Carlos Correa made it 3-2. Marwin Gonzalez's home run of the 9th forced extra innings. And then Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa hit back-to-back homers in the top of the 10th. But the Dodgers scored twice in the bottom of the 10th, tying it on an Enrique Hernandez 2-out single, only to lose in the 11th when George Springer hit a 2-run home run for the Astros. Dodgers came back with a run at the bottom of the 11th, but Houston prevails 7-6. World Series tied 1 game apiece. Houston will host the next 3 games beginning Friday at Minute Maid Park. At Dodger Stadium, I'm Jared Max, Fox News.
A World Series record 8 home runs were hit in that game. Again, Game 3 in Houston tomorrow night. The Astros have not lost in the postseason at home this year. The Fighting Illini volleyball team lost a tough one in the 5 games last night in Minneapolis to the 5th-ranked Gophers. And Illinois football hosts the 5th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers Saturday for the 107th homecoming at the University of Illinois. Kickoff set for 11 a.m., and the Badgers are a 24-point favorite. And former Fighting Illini star and front desk employee at the iHotel, Brandon Paul, played 19 minutes and scored 7 points for the San Antonio Spurs and their 117-100 win over the Miami Heat last night in South Florida. That's sports.
Yeah, how about Brandon Paul, former front desk employee at the True Story. He was pouring in 20, 30, 40 points a game. And I went to the iHotel the next morning, and there's Brandon Paul smiling, go, may I help you? I said, you're kidding, right? Is this like a trick, joke? What? You're a star. That's why he's with the Spurs.
Yeah.
He's a hardworking, humble kid, and I'm so happy for Brandon. 19 minutes, 7 points, including 2 for 2 from 3.
That's terrific.
Brandon Paul helped the Miami Heat. 19 minutes is good. Pop must like him, and if Pop likes you, you're golden. All right, it's ESPN 93.5. It is 7:19. Parenting expert Maria Lucci on cell phones and kids. Stand by. Let's check your weather. ESPN 93.5. Brought to you this morning by Buffalo Wild Wings. Diane Ducey.
This is the nice spot for the next 10 days, really, with the sunshine and a high 67, 40-hour low tonight. More clouds tomorrow with a high 50, low 35. Only up to the mid-40s on Saturday, down to around 30 in the evening. So we'll have to bundle up for that Illinois-Wisconsin game with kickoff at 11 o'clock. Right now, the temperature's at 37 on ESPN 93.5.
Go to Hunter's Haven off Bloomington Road in Champaign, offering archery birthday parties for your child. Book with them today. Hunter's Haven, 359-1920. Fox Business Minute brought to you this morning by Eric Boland and Rob Meyer. Provident Financial Group in Champaign, where partnerships are built on trust. Find Eric or Rob at providentfinancialgroup.com. ESPN720. ESPN 720.
From the Fox Business Network, the iPhone 8 is not setting the world on fire. The Wall Street Journal reports that two market research firms find that the iPhone 8 is posting the weakest sales of any of the company's recent new phones. Consumers may be holding off on the 8 in order to buy the iPhone 10, which features an edge-to-edge display and facial recognition technology. Advanced sales of the 10 begin tomorrow. The FCC may be willing to scale back rules which limit ownership of local TV stations. Commission Chairman Ajit Pai, a Republican, told a congressional hearing he wants to open up TV licenses. Current rules limit the number of stations a company can own in a given market. And shares of Buffalo Wild Wings were surging in after-hours trading. The company reported earnings that were 50% higher than expected. A big reason? Buffalo Wild Wings is promoting boneless wings. They're made by forming chicken meat to resemble wings, and that helps the company avoid the rising cost of actual wings. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Roger Stern.
Friends, are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, you could be paying too much. Now you can take Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, for just $2 per tablet. $2 for a 20-milligram tablet, saving $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy delivering Sildenafil to your doorstep. Go to MarleyGenerics.com. That's MARLEY, MarleyGenerics.com. Or call 1-800-452-1760. That's 1-800-452-1760.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Rapidly becoming one of our favorite guests, it's Maria Lucci. She's a parenting specialist. How are you, Maria?
You know I love being with you, Stevie J. How are you?
TheEmpoweredMom.com. Today, along with Diane Ducey, my daughter Grace is helping. She's a journalist, pre-law student, University of Illinois.
Good morning.
Congratulations. That's awesome, girl.
She's the baby triplet. So
yes, by 30 seconds. Hardly counts.
Yeah. 7:18.
By 30, yeah, well, that matters. I understand because with the twins, they always count those.
They definitely
less than 2 minutes.
Now, does the older twin remind the younger twin that they're the older twin?
Yes, always. But remember, I have 3. You have triplets. I have 3 boys within 21 months.
So you kind of have triplets too. Yeah.
Right. I have twins in there.
Yeah, so really 3 in diapers counts. So that's basket good on that. And then
for years.
We have Nathaniel was 4 when we brought the triplets home. God bless him. He was another little parent. But boy, I tell you, took 3 adults to get him out of the house, and then all of a sudden 3 babies come home, and all of a sudden it's instead of
what were we thinking? Maybe we weren't.
Instead of don't bring that little sippy cup into the nice carpeted area. It's like don't bleed on the carpet and everything's fine.
Right.
It's everything.
Yeah, don't get back to me unless you're bleeding or there's a limb that's off.
Really a different whole dynamic. In any event, Maria Lucci is a parenting expert, and boy, we talk about cell phones and my projected and I think brilliant new lawmaking idea is to ban smartphones unless you're past the age of driving, which is 16. What's wrong with that idea? Smartphones. You can have phones and text and call.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the idea except for we live in a 24/7 digital distracted world. And it's not going anywhere. And as parents, I mean, we really do need to we have to really take a hard look at our own practices on all the screens, because I know 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 screens in front of me right now.
Wow.
And so that sets the example for our kids.
So what can we do to monitor the amount of time kids spend on phones? Because it seems to be growing.
That's such a great question, because we have to, ask ourselves, like I said, how much time are we spending? What example are we setting? Mm-hmm. And
could you hold that, Mary? Hold that thought. I got to text something. Hold on. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Oh my gosh!
No, that's so great. But seriously, there are several things. For example, there's a study that we're referencing for this story that shows, from Common Sense Media, that shows that kids 8 years old and younger, in the amount of their screen time, not just phone time, has tripled
wow.
in just 4 years. These are 8-year-olds and younger. Parents spend, on average, 9 hours or more on devices.
Gosh.
So one of the things you can do is put your family on a digital detox or a digital diet. And that doesn't mean everybody has to have no devices. That means, okay, let's have a set time, especially #device-free dinner.
Whoa.
Love it.
Whoa. Hold on. You mean I have to look up? Whoa.
Well, it is funny because it is a hashtag, and I have seen photos where people have a whiteboard up or something, and it's a picture of the family, and it says #device-free dinner. And I'm like, okay, well, somebody had to have a device to take
to document that.
Right.
Okay, well, I think it starts there. So no digital at dinner. And of course, then again, how many people are sitting around the table eating dinner anymore? I mean, that's not happening that much either.
Well, but it should. And if it doesn't do that, okay, then engage your kids with a device. Meaning, there's a game called Heads Up. Okay?
Yes, yep.
Do y'all know that?
Grace,
I love that game.
Yes.
Grace does. Dad doesn't.
It's so much fun.
Okay.
So much fun.
Okay, so you can actually engage with your kids. I mean, look, your kids want to be connected. And in a world where here's the irony, in a world where we can be more connected than ever, we are often the most disconnected from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as parents, look, there's no perfect mom. There's the empowered mom. And we can all learn to reconnect. And instead of being distracted parents, be connected parents.
Well, and again, it is your example, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's our example in every aspect. We just sometimes as parents we forget that. And then in this world, and as you know, Stevie J, I mean, you live in an electronic world. That's your career, that's your life. Same as me. My business is online, but we have to unplug to plug back into our kids. Our kids need it.
No question.
So as of now, who are we becoming as being so digitally distracted and focused?
Yeah, you would think that's the scary part, because you would think we would become more connected. But what's coming in between us, even from our friends and who leaves a voicemail anymore? It's like somebody leaves a voicemail, I'm like, really? Why can't you just text me?
Almost creepy to hear their voice. Ugh.
I know. I will now say, if I ever leave a voicemail, I don't know if you're even listening to this, but I'm going to actually leave an old-fashioned voicemail.
Yeah. Yeah, because it takes time to go get it, listen to it. Then you're saying, man, it's too long. Just text me, call me.
A phone call.
Yeah.
So, Maria, if someone's just learning this for the first time, are there certain consequences or parameters that we should set up with our kids?
Okay, I love this question because I will tell you, currently in my household, one of my boys is grounded from electronic devices. And so here's how he comes back to me. Well, because they have laptops distributed from the school. And that's how they do homework. That's how a lot of assignments are sent out. That's how they send in a lot of their homework. So he says, so I'm grounded. I can't do my homework. And I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, please help me right now. So, yes, you do have to set parameters. And in this case, I mean, I almost have to stand over his shoulder because we can't get away from the devices. We have to learn like a digital detox or a digital diet that's healthy for our families.
It's crazy. And by the way, not only do you have all of that, but then you have the pitfalls of the really bad stuff that's out there and available.
And that's where we as parents have to step in and talk about social media, talk about what's out there, because they're going to find it before you know they have already found it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, turning our heads and ignoring it isn't going to make it go away.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of head turning, I think, right now.
We have to be, no pun intended or pun intended, we have to be plugged in so that we can have them disconnect so that we can all reconnect.
Maria, we love you. Okay, theempoweredmom.com. Support Maria and her kids today and their family. Maria Lucci, theempoweredmom.com. It is always a pleasure chatting.
Love you guys. And congratulations to your daughter.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Maria Lucci, ESPN 93.5.
Good stuff. And mainly for me, it's bedtime and when do you unplug? And the kids need to be away from that screen and the light for a little while in order to let their brain rest.
Don't know if that's happening.
Not fatigue.
Even the iPhone has this new thing that you can set your screen like lighting.
Okay, to start to dim.
Right, to like bedtime lighting to help you fall asleep. Which I honestly, I don't believe in so much. I'm sure there's some science behind it actually works. But the best way to go to bed early and to get off your phone is for someone to take away your phone. Yeah. I mean, that happened my senior year of high school. My parents would take my phone away.
Did we take your phone away?
Yeah, my senior year of high school.
Really? Wow.
It worked, though. I'm very thankful you did it, and I wish you could still do it now.
Meanies. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our Fox News for a minute, come right back, check your weather, and then live from the White House, it's our weekly feature with John Decker, White House reporter. Nothing going on this week. ABC, CBS, and NBC did not cover the Uranium One story last night.
Of course.
Not 1 second of it.
Look away.
This is the story where the Clintons received $145 million, fact, to sell 20% of our uranium, which makes nuclear warheads and bombs, to the Russians.
Unbelievable.
Fact. That's a fact. And it's not a story. Now, the way I gauge journalism, Grace, is that if you flip this around and the Donald Trump family received $145 million to sell 20% of our uranium to the Russians, I wonder if it'd be covered. Ha! Such a joke. There would be people talking impeachment, not just Democrats, but Republicans. The difference in Democrats and Republicans, Democrats aren't doing nothing about it. I mean, they're going Republicans will say, you know what, that seems wrong. And they'll just break away from their own party because they just do that. You can't peel the Democrats are Velcro. I'd call them the Velcro party. They just don't break away from each other. It's a block. Anyway, it's a story. It is flat out a story, particularly since the informant has now been cleared to talk to Congress. Informant has stuff. You have not heard from Hillary Clinton since this broke. Do you know why? She doesn't know what the informant has. She has to be careful what she says. That informant needs to be secured. It's high-level stuff, and I don't know if they're going to reveal his identity or these testimonies will be in public, but that guy better watch his back because there's a lot of power that don't like what he's doing. 7:34.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. A budget blueprint passed by the Senate last week. It's a vote in the House today. It's a big step toward passing a Republican tax reform plan. Fox's Chad Pergram reports there's some Republican opposition.
The thought is that they should be able to pull this out, but if they don't, that is a serious blow to tax reform. If you don't have a budget, you cannot avoid a filibuster in the Senate, and there's no way that this tax reform bill could get 60 votes. That's the only way you can overcome a filibuster in the Senate. This is a real problem if this vote goes sideways.
No more than 22 Republicans can vote no for this to pass, assuming no Democrats vote yes. President Trump's approval ratings down in the new Fox poll.
The poll puts President Trump's approval rating at just 38%. A key part of the drop is in support from working-class white men and event victory.
Fox's Grinnell Scott in New York. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Dirty Dancing, the record-breaking live theater sensation, is finally here. Relive the magic of Johnny and Baby's classic love story live on stage. Spectacular dancing, passionate romance, and all your favorite songs from the movie. Dirty Dancing. Don't miss it. You'll have the time of your life.
Part of the State Farm Center's 2017-2018 WCIA3 Broadway Series. Tickets 866-ILLINI1 or statefarmcenter.com.
Here's your ESPN 93.5 three-day forecast from the National Weather Service.
Areas of frost this morning, then sunny with the high of 67. Cloudy and 41 overnight, and mostly cloudy and just 47 for the high tomorrow. Friday night, mostly cloudy with the overnight low down to 33. And homecoming Saturday, mostly cloudy with the high of just 45. And currently it's 36 degrees.
Every week we venture to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, a.k.a. the White House. John Decker. John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, John Decker. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I am well. How are you? How are you doing this week?
We're just fine. I'm Diane, of course, with us. My daughter, Grace, journalism student, junior, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. And I just got done saying, I believe Uranium One is a legit journalistic story, but if you listen to the other media, Fox is just a right-wing Breitbart, and that's, John, there's too many things in there to not ask questions, legitimate questions here. It's just amazing. And if you flip the story, and Donald Trump had received $145 million,
right.
It would be there'd be impeachment hearings by noon.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think this is a legitimate story. Now, we don't know whether there's any wrongdoing, but it needs to be investigated, that's for sure. And that's the reason why my colleague John Roberts is asking good questions. I'm asking those questions. The president responding to them yesterday before leaving the White House on Marine One. It's a legitimate a story to check out and see if there is any wrongdoing or was any wrongdoing committed by Hillary Clinton or the DNC, the Democratic National Committee.
And then there's the, dossier paid for by the DNC, who Debbie Wasserman Schultz says she's knows nothing. And Hillary, we haven't heard from her because they don't know what the FBI informant has in his attaché. But again, the dossier, and then the former campaign chair for Hillary Clinton said, well, if I'd have known, I'd have gone over and helped him. It's just the normal research we do. Wait a minute. I thought we weren't supposed to consult with the Russians and get stuff from Russia. I'm confused here.
I think it is confusing. I think that the reaction by this spokesperson, former spokesperson for the Clinton campaign, Brian Fallon, was an unusual reaction. He was the one who was complaining quite vociferously about the idea of Russia somehow impacting the U.S. election, and this is a way that they could have, if this story proves to be true, impacted the U.S. election in 2016. So, look, I think that the people that represented the Clinton campaign need to take this very seriously, and I think their blanket denials, to me, don't have any element of validity attached to them. I think that, look, we knew about this. I think the American public knew about this dossier in January, and to say that the Clinton campaign didn't know about it, I think is hard to believe.
So how long does all this go?
Sorry?
So how long does this go? How long will this carry on for?
Well, I think that it's necessary to, sort of chase down this story, Gracie, and I think that that's exactly what Robert Mueller will likely do to see if, I think if he wants to have a complete investigation, and he's the special counsel, he ought to look into these allegations as well.
Okay, hey, you can ask Bill Clinton a question. I've got the answer, so.
Okay, I have to ask you, Mr. President, and I still refer to you as Mr. President because I have respect for the office.
Thank you, John.
What do you know? What do you know, Mr. President, about this dossier? Were you aware that the Clinton campaign was paying millions of dollars to see that it was published. Give me your take on all of this.
I did not have any idea what was going on. I had no idea. I just said, honey, I'm all for you, and I just, I'm in your camp. And we knew nothing about this. Is just a right-wing conspiracy. What'd she say? Far right-wing conspiracy. That's what.
Yeah.
She was so good.
I don't know if I believe you, Mr. President, but look, I think that you're consistent in your denials. That's for sure.
John, you guys, Fox and Breitbart, and all you right-wingers. Listen, I like y'all and everything, but isn't Hillary sweet? Isn't she sweet?
I mean, you're married to her, Mr. President. You tell me.
Oh, golly. I stay on her good side because I don't want to throw in that ashtray. Anyway,
wow.
it's just again, it's dizzying to me. Tom Clancy would be able to write all this. There's so many angles to this. John, it's just, I don't know. Certainly somebody's going to have a movie on this one, and then they're going to say, wait a minute, I don't get it. What happened again? Who's that guy? I mean, there's so many elements here. It's crazy.
There are. And look, this story, it seems to me it's the very beginning of this story. The admission by the Clinton campaign, the admission by the DNC that they paid millions of dollars to an entity, Fusion GPS, that saw that this dossier was published. So, look, this is the very beginning. Here we are, late October. I think we're still going to be talking about this story. Probably in the next few months as well.
I always say when you ever do stuff, that justice is always meted out. You may not see it, you may not know it, but when you do wrong things, things happen. And it's all, and the spin here from the Democrats is just precious from the standpoint of, everybody does opposition research. Come on. It's just like, wow.
Well, there's something to that. There is something to that. I think opposition research has been happening since the beginning of this country. That being said, I can't recall a time when one campaign reached out to perhaps an other foreign entity for help in that opposition research.
Former British intelligence agent. And then you've got to ask if it was a former British intelligence agent and they're getting all this stuff that they couldn't confirm. Was the FBI involved? Was the FBI in this? What did Barack Obama know? What did Robert Mueller know? What did James Comey know? I mean, everybody couldn't know nothing. I mean, they had. Come on, man.
Well, I think that's. I think Robert Mueller has a very difficult task. Not only looking into alleged complicity between the Trump presidential campaign and Russian officials, but now also looking into this. I think this ought to be a part of his investigation to complete that investigation.
Well, keep asking your fine questions. You're a pure journalist. You're going to go where the facts lead. That's what you ought to do. I really feel, John, we've lost a whole lot of footing when it comes to being my watchdog. There are some that are really good at it, and to the journalist's defense, it's the white-collar news guy that's in charge that told Cheryl Atkinson, forget Benghazi, nobody cares about that anymore. I mean, because the journalist is out there, they're going to, if the person in charge says cover this and cover it this way, what are you going to do? Think your professor going to give you an assignment?
Exactly.
You're going to have to do it. But you're doing good work, John. We like watching you on the pressers with Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
With Sarah Huckabee Sanders, absolutely.
Keep up the work, my friend. We'll play your theme next week.
I like it. You have a great week and a great weekend, Gracie. Good talking to you, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you. I just, again, when you take a story and you turn the tables on somebody as disliked by the media as Donald Trump, what would the media do with a story that showed the Donald Trump Foundation received $145 million to sell uranium? You'd at least ask questions. You'd see if everything was done properly. But was there bribery involved? Was there influence peddling? I mean, you got to at least look at it, don't you? It seems to me to be pretty significant. Were there crimes involved? There's apparently 13 crimes on this whole dossier, federal offenses that could be charged to the Hillary camp and the DNC on this, the way they did that. Are you hearing anything about that? No, I don't think you are. So here's a good question, Grace. Is it a story if the media doesn't comment on it? If the media doesn't cover it, is it a story?
If it's anything that influences us, I 100% think it shouldn't even be a question if it's covered. And I think that's kind of a job as a journalist and as media is to get what needs to be known out to the public. And the fact that it wasn't covered by so many big news organizations is just mind-blowing, because then all these big stories, how do you sift out what you do and don't cover? Because I definitely consider this as something you have to at least acknowledge.
Yeah, and I guess it's your personal, as much as we all have our personal feelings, and we are a little slanted in some ways because of our life experiences.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You have to say, okay, what are the facts?
Exactly. And anything that's going to influence our country, we have the right to know. I mean, to an extent, of course, but I don't know. This is just mind-blowing that would be a question, and
you got to ask
reported.
Questions about, where this went. And then this whole dossier and Clinton and the whole Donald Trump colluded with the Russians to get elected. It sounds like Hillary colluded with the Russians to get this dossier, combined with the former British intelligence agent, Christopher Steele, who was involved with our FBI. And then this whole, it is... there's so many angles here. It's really hard to keep track of, and it's all going to sort out. And then the real wild card is the FBI informant who wants to tell everybody how the Uranium One deal worked and who was paid off for what. And if he's got documents on that, that's why I don't think Hillary Clinton said word one since this broke, because she doesn't know what the guy has. Because she comes out and says XYZ, and the guy shows, and apparently he has audio taped as well.
Well, there you go.
So the truth will come out, and it usually, in fact, I say always does. It just sometimes you don't see the conclusion of it. What's the best age to retire? Well, over the past 2 years, the average retirement age, 63. The professionals at Busey Wealth Management can help you plan the right time for you. Deciding when to retire depends on your lifestyle preferences, changes in circumstances, health considerations, financial readiness. Busey Wealth Management can help determine your optimal strategy. Sit down with them. They have wonderful people. They'll take time and listen, understand what you want to do. Their years of experience allow unique insight into planning for a range of situations. You can also utilize retirement calculators. You'll find all of those at Busey.com. Busey.com. The experts at Busey Wealth Management can help identify your objectives, design a game plan to achieve your goals, and implement a program that fits your needs. Visit Busey.com. Stop by one of the many convenient locations today for solutions for your lifetime. Investment product services not FDIC insured may lose value. No bank guarantee. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC. All right, let's jump to our morning sports. 7:48. Grace has an exam in just an hour this morning with us. Go right ahead.
Another big day for the Fighting Illini basketball program. Chicago Simeon senior Talon Horton Tucker will announce his commitment at 6:30 this evening at Simeon High School. Horton Smith has been offered by Michigan State, Purdue, Minnesota, and Ohio State, among others, but his final three schools are Xavier, Iowa State, and Illinois. The fate of the 6'5" forward and the number 2 player in the state will be decided tonight at 6:30. It is being called the best Game 2 in the World Series history. The Houston Astros came from behind and beat the Los Angeles Dodgers in 11 innings last night in L.A. Jared Max has our recap.
This is why they call it the Fall Classic. Houston strong, Houston resilient. The Astros trailed the Dodgers 3-1 into the 8th inning last night when they began their comeback. A single by Carlos Correa made it 3-2. Marwin Gonzalez's home run of the 9th forced extra innings. And then Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa hit back-to-back homers in the top of the 10th. But the Dodgers scored twice in the bottom of the 10th, tying it on an Enrique Hernandez 2-out single, only to lose in the 11th when George Springer hit a 2-run home run for the Astros. Dodgers came back with a run at the bottom of the 11th, but Houston prevails 7-6. World Series tied 1 game apiece. Houston will host the next 3 games beginning Friday at Minute Maid Park. At Dodger Stadium, I'm Jared Max, Fox News.
A World Series record 8 home runs were hit in that game. Again, Game 3 in Houston tomorrow night. The Astros have not lost in the postseason at home this year. The Fighting Illini volleyball team lost a tough one in 5 games last night in Minneapolis to the 5th-ranked Gophers. And Illinois football hosts the 5th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers Saturday for the 107th homecoming at the University of Illinois. Kickoff set for 11 a.m., and the Badgers are a 24-point favorite. And former Fighting Illini star and front desk employee at the iHotel, Brandon Paul, played 19 minutes and scored 7 points for the San Antonio Spurs in their 117-100 win over the Miami Heat last night in South Florida. That's sports.
All right.
Russell Westbrook also had a triple-double last night as the Thunder took over the Pacers 114-96. The Bulls are in Atlanta tonight.
Yeah. Okay, and we've got the Unity High School game.
Yes, we do.
And the Rockets, we've got them on radio. Is it 1:30 Saturday?
Yes, and they're taking on Pontiac as part of the IHSA playoff matchups. Hey, Daily Sports Bar in downtown Philo is on board supporting our Rockets. They've got that out back on the patio area with the food truck. It's awesome Wednesday through Saturday if you want to get a meal in the evening. Country Financial Agent Keith Garrett in Tolono offering good student discounts for 8-5-30-10. We've also got Carl Sports Medicine, Illini Mattress, Roof Doctors, Long's Garage in Urbana, Country Financial Agent Jesse Dawn, and Tapman's Towing, all sponsoring the game at 1:30 Saturday on Q96.
All right, Buffalo Wild Wings. Like a quarterback's top receiver, B-Dubs has the perfect wing sauce pairing for their Blue Moon Belgian white beer called Blue Moon BBQ. Available for limited time while supplies last only at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings Beer Sports. Please drink responsibly. Official. It is official. Weekends are now reserved for football. So come watch them. B-Dubs, other fans are there, all for the same reason, to watch sports. In a place packed with roaring fans that have asked menu food. It's built for fans. It's home for football. It's Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings, Beer, Sports. Gracie on her way for, what exam is this?
It's a journalism exam.
Oh, boy, perfect.
Right, this is getting me in the mode. I love it.
What you got on your weather?
So areas of frost this morning, then sunny with a high of 67. Cloudy and 41 overnight. Mostly cloudy and just 47 for the high tomorrow. Friday night, mostly cloudy with the overnight low down to 33. And homecoming Saturday, mostly cloudy with the high of just 45.
Mm-hmm.
And it's currently 36. It's getting cold.
Have you had the wedge steak salad? I haven't taken you there for that, have I?
Actually, I think I had it a few years ago.
So
and I
good.
remember how good it was.
Remember that, Diane?
I do.
Champagne's Houlihan's at 1900 South 1st Street. And they've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They got all kinds of specials, whatever you want to hang around. Maybe you want to watch World Series games on their screens. They've got that as well. But remember, when you're in line and waiting on the weekend for your breakfast place, Houlihan serves a good breakfast. Your favorite on the breakfast menu is what?
I just love it. I like French toast, but that leans to the sugar.
It's just a couple tablespoons.
But scrambled eggs and bacon is what my husband always gets, and they got nice thick Texas toast.
Yeah,
so
it's a
coffee's delicious.
Neat place to meet somebody for a business lunch. It's all there. They've got vegetarian, they got healthy, gluten sensitive, whatever you want. It's Houlihan's, kind of the epicenter for Illinois sports, and all the basketball teams will stay there. It's just the place to be. It's Houlihan's Restaurant at 1st Street in St. Mary's, south of the State Farm Center.
Live in the lounge, local music Thursdays until November 9th at Houlihan's Bar and Grill. Right. And you can cozy up next to that fire pit on a brisk fall afternoon, order some savory bourbon pecan pie for dessert. Sounds good at Houlihan's, 1st and St. Mary.
All right, it's Troy Lance, Lance Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Okay, Nathan did call. I need my Comfort Club membership enforced and plugged in here. It's that time, Troy.
It is that time. It's getting cold. I was hoping to make it through till November. It's always been a goal of mine not to turn the furnace on till November. But I get home the other night and I see what the temperature is in the house, and this is not going to fly. So I've got mine on.
My knee's bent at 61. I said, it was 61. And I said, it's just too inside. It was just too cold.
Okay.
Take the chill off. I want to
get them checked out.
I want a heated floor. Can you do that for me?
We can definitely do a heated floor. You betcha.
You can?
Of course.
That changes the game.
We had that heated floor.
Heat in it, right?
We rented a place in New Zealand that had a heated floor.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing.
I want a heated floor, so is that like $100, $150?
You better have a very small footprint. No pun intended.
I got got a tile for that, don't
Exactly.
I got a big old square foot tile for
Everybody
$150.
hover over here in the corner. We've got two
Come on,
tiles that are
jump on
heated.
my back. I'll hold you.
That's right.
Troy,
Heat rises.
I really do. I love that heated floors. Put it in your bathroom. Bathrooms aren't very big. Just put it in your bathroom. Troy Lands. Okay, so we want to check the furnace. You got carbon monoxide issues, cracked whatever you talk about, and it's just
The
important.
heat exchangers, make sure that they're not cracked, and then get it tuned up and running as efficient as possible. It saves you on energy, peace of mind, and there's times when we can find something that's about ready to fail and has not yet. We can discuss whether it's time to do it prematurely, or if you want to wait till Thanksgiving Day or something like that, which some people have done in the past.
No, I
but
know. And you're 24/7.
No shame on them. We'll still come out and take care of it.
You can always call 800 Air Repair, and you're coming no matter what, right?
Right. You betcha.
Yeah, and it's the same rate. I don't get charged 10 times the amount either.
Correct. Right.
I
The
know
failure doesn't know a season, and we don't charge
We
extra for
appreciate that.
With all the rain, some pumps, and maybe even some flooding issues in basements.
Yeah, sump pumps, and then with our underground services, we do if there's if you're on a septic or you have a break in your yard, even in town, it doesn't show up during the dry season because it's just going into the ground, and now you get a little more water, you start to see that murky water bubble up, and don't touch the murky water. We'll take care of that for you because it might be more than you bargained for.
You're the man. How do people get hold of Troy Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing?
1-800-AIR-REPAIR or landsinc.com.
You're my guy. Thanks, buddy.
Talk to you soon.
I'll call Nathan. We'll get my stuff scheduled.
Yeah, the Comfort Club is good for that.
Yep. So I missed the World Series last night. I taped it, but of course it ran out before I saw.
It's funny. The game before was like a record short.
Yeah, that's
game,
what I
2
thought.
hours and 20 minutes or something.
3.5 hours. So I was taking up carpet last night at the loft. I took the carpet off the loft.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
I had all these home improvement projects.
I had to.
Quite the guy.
Well, I got Kenny Pashon coming out from Flooring Surfaces tomorrow morning.
Okay, got to be ready.
Got to be ready. So I got to move furniture, but I moved them back and forth to different areas, took all the carpet off, had to take up all the staples. My hands killed. I had to eat 3 Advil today. I mean, I'm so achy.
Gosh.
Because, you're bending down on the, I know. It's
You'd think with Warren Honeycutt's workout that you could endure. But
No, listen, I'm able to endure because of that, but I'm still going to be sore because you're moving stuff you're not moving normally on your knees pulling staples out. Does anybody got little violins that kind of...
It gives credit to the Flooring Surfaces guys for this hard work that they do to get those jobs done so quickly.
No, I made it just real easy. I'm kind of looking at them as a surgeon. They walk in when it's ready, and then it'll go really fast. They'll save a little money. I did it myself kind of thing. But they've got such great flooring options, and I love supporting local, and that's our guys at Flooring Surfaces. All right, today... Illini Union Bookstore, 4 to 6. Go there if you want to register to win Illini basketball season tickets. 4 to 6 books. Illini Union Bookstore is so nice.
It is nice, and they just renovated it as well.
They got 2 levels, right?
Yes, it's got, I think, 3 levels now.
That's real close to Chi Omega.
Yeah, it's right next to it, and it's got in the basement all the books, and the middle floor is kind of more like just merchandise.
You hang with some coffee and stuff?
Oh, yeah, Starbucks is right there.
Starbucks is inside there?
Inside, yeah. I went there yesterday, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They'll fill up your mug for like $1.07.
Huh.
It's a refill no matter what mug you have.
Wow.
That's what they do for me.
I like that
idea. Awesome.
All right, Grace. Well, thank you very much for dropping
Well,
by. Love your
thank
perspective.
you.
Love having you and telling me that there's going to be a parade, homecoming parade. You're in that tomorrow night.
Yes, we are. Our dance team, the Oskies Illini Dance Company, is going to be in it, and we're excited. We have our 11 girls all ready to go, and we're super excited. Although we heard it's going to be a little bit cold, we are ready to dance.
But because you're going to sweat.
Yes. I mean, last year, oh my goodness, we were so sweaty after dancing for however long the
2
thing
miles
is. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Honor the Chief has asked for clearance for the Chief to be in the homecoming parade too.
That.
They can't put a sign that says Chief Illini Wick, but as a free speech measure, they can have somebody dressed as Chief. And you think the students are overwhelmingly supportive or just kind of supportive of a chief?
I definitely think there's a lot of support behind the chief because we want something to represent our school. We want a mascot, and I think we still kind of see that as the chief and probably always will.
Well, the Honor of the Chief Society is in the parade. There's been Stephen Kaufman, of course, complained to Robert Jones, and they said, hey, Robin Kaler quoted in the paper this morning, the News Gazette, saying it's a free speech issue. They can't say, here comes the chief and a big old poster, but somebody can be in a convertible dressed as the chief. That's a free speech issue. So kudos to them allowing that because of free speech.
Exactly.
All right, and it's so funny because the proximity is so close in the homecoming parade.
Right.
And you guys will be right up a bit.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
That's one of the most fun parts about this parade is it's just right there. You're so interactive with everyone that's there.
I'll be driving the station van with our signage and Diane's speakers saying, the Huskies! Ladies and gentlemen, the Huskies! Over and over.
Go Illini.
Thank you so
Go
much for
Illini.
coming in.
Thank you.
Love you, hon. All right, talk to you in a minute. That's my daughter Grace, Diane Ducey. We've got Dr. John Dibin. The President of the United States is calling it a national emergency on opioids today. All on that next. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Stricter security takes flight overseas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A week after the acting head of Homeland Security said terrorists are still hoping to take down planes in another 9/11 type attack, stricter screenings now in place for all flights to the U.S. Fox's Simon Owens live in London.
But Dave, many of the first passengers to face the stricter measures seem to be taking them in their stride.
I'm okay with it. The heightened security, the United States security. We need heightened security.
He's flying in from Hong Kong. He says he had to answer a few extra questions at check-in.
They asked me if I packed my own bag, where I packed it from, where I came from. They looked at my itinerary.
Airlines are warning travelers to allow extra time for the new screening. Delta advising passengers traveling to the U.S. to arrive at the airport at least 3 hours before their flight. Dave?
Simon, House Republicans will take a vote today on a budget framework that's key to tax reform, continuing the process the Senate started to avoid a Democrat filibuster on taxes. However,
we're told that there are about 20 to 30 House Republicans who have some real reservations about this budget.
And some have a big problem with a proposed tax change,
which would say they would get rid of the deduction for state and local taxes. That's a big blow to high tax states, in particular New York and New Jersey.
Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol. At least 23 House Republicans joined Democrats voting no, the budget plan would fail. President Trump will this afternoon declare opioid drug addiction and overdoses a public health emergency. He told Fox Business.
The drugs pouring into the country have gotten, and I tell you what, we've made a big impact, but still, we need the wall.
Tens of thousands of people have died from opioids, which include painkillers, heroin, and fentanyl the last few years. Tampa, Florida's Mayor Bob Buckhorn has told police looking for a potential serial killer to bring his head to me. 3 people have been shot and killed the past 2 weeks in one neighborhood where police now are patrolling by car, bicycle, and on foot, promising nervous parents kids will be allowed to trick or treat next week. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home, wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Republican John McCain and other senators have demanded more answers on the deadly ambush attack on U.S. troops in Africa earlier this month, and they may get some today.
Armed Services Committee members will get closed-door briefings on the operation that left 4 American soldiers dead in Niger. President Trump says he did not specifically order the mission.
I gave them authority to do what's right so that we win. That's the authority they have. I want to win.
Earlier this week, the top military officer, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Joseph Dunford, told reporters there are still questions about intelligence assessments and why the unit waited an hour to request air support. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
It is all tied up at the World Series. The Houston Astros beat the LA Dodgers 7-6 in 11 innings after rallying to tie the game in the 9th. George Springer hit the winning home run.
Up, down, up, down, up. You know, that's a
That's a heck of a game right there, man.
The series shifts to Houston for Game 3 of the World Series tomorrow. Week 8 of the NFL kicks off tonight, Miami versus Baltimore. And amid all the uproar over NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem, there's this.
Jaron Stewart, who is black, has been the student government vice president at Clemson University. He sat with other students during the pledge at a student government meeting last month in solidarity with the NFL players protesting police brutality and racial oppression. The vote to impeach him was 40-18, and it was held on Monday by secret ballot when he was out of town. Next is a closed-door impeachment trial to determine whether he should be removed from office. The student senator who introduced the impeachment resolution denied the motion was motivated by the pledge protest. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
More Americans needed unemployment checks last week. First-time jobless claims rose 10,000 to 233,000 a week after dropping to a 44-year low. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN 93.5 three-day forecast brought to you by CMI Chemical Maintenance, Inc. Online, CMIClean.com. Locally owned and operated, female-owned. If you need janitorial supplies, let them give you a quote, free quote. Betsy and Brad Parks, wonderful local people. It's CMIClean.com, 359-6262.
And if you want something like that super mop, they'll let you use
Called the iMop.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. I love it.
It will clean like nobody's business. And got that demo. I still haven't borrowed it because I'll take that puppy home. And
sounds awesome.
My grout will never be cleaner. Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful day with a high 65 expected, 40-hour low tonight with the clear conditions. More clouds coming our way tomorrow, though, with a high 48 expected, 35-hour low at night. On Saturday, only up to 44, down to 30 with the clouds. A little better on Sunday with a high 50, low 38. Right now, the temperature's at 39. ESPN 93.5.
It was a tremendous game that I missed last night. Two reasons: taking up carpeting for flooring surfaces work tomorrow morning, and my DVR ran out at 3.5 hours. So,
and you really needed inning 8 through 11.
Yeah, that's the game, and my thing ran out in the 8th. That's just awful. Oh,
so many terrific hits. In fact, breaking a record in the World Series game, too, with those 8 homers, 4 for each team.
How about George Springer, the leadoff hitter for Houston, who won the game last night? The previous night, just to let you know, boys and girls, that in sports and in life, you can't give up because some days don't go as well. The first game of the World Series, George Springer, the leadoff man, struck out 4 times. He was 0 for 4. Wow. Struck out all 4 times. Comes back the next. These athletes have to have such a short memory. You can't be thinking like, you just go play ball. Well, we've talked about the opiate problem here in this country and just how bad it is. How bad is it? President of the United States about to declare a state of emergency? What the terminology is to release federal funds. White House will hold an event on the opioid epidemic coming up this afternoon, according to an email obtained by thehill.com, suggests President Trump will make his announcement about a national emergency on the opioid crisis. The email from the White House, Office of National Drug Control Policies, an invitation and a call to RSVP to an event, 2 o'clock today, probably 1 Eastern. It's not clear exactly what the event will be, but I think we know it will be about this opiate epidemic, and this is something that affects us here in Champaign-Urbana. There's no doubt about it. Always happy and really excited to talk to this guy because he's so passionate and so good at what he does. Origins Recovery Center's Dr. John Dybin. John, welcome back from West Palm Beach. Nice to have you back.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
John, when the president calls us a national emergency on the opioid epidemic, what does it mean?
So today, if you are an American citizen, you are statistically more likely to die from drug overdose than any other cause.
Really?
So drug overdoses today, is for Americans age 55 and younger, it's the number 1 cause of death overall. And for all Americans, it is the leading cause of accidental death. You are more likely to die from a drug overdose today than from all of the car accidents, plane crashes and boat crashes combined. The leading cause of accidental death is drug overdose, and that should have us dropping our jaws. It is astounding, and that's what is meant by a crisis. And what we have been doing, and for generations, for decades, across Republicans and Democrats, since really the 60s, we've had a drug policy that has been strong and has been failing dramatically. If drug policy has ever been designed to decrease the negative effects of drugs on the United States, it has failed miserably. And so what I hope is that the president will come out. The first thing I hope is that he's doing something important by recognizing that this is an absolute crisis, leading cause of accidental death in our country. But what I hope is that he'll not just do the same thing, not just do more of the same, what every other administration has done. We now know more about addiction than we've ever known before, and we understand addiction as a disease of the brain. And so this problem really, truly is a public health issue, not a criminal justice issue.
All right, so you wouldn't lock them up, you'd treat them.
That is exactly right. What we know is that if you take, and again, we're talking about there are thousands and thousands of nonviolent, non-trafficking drug offenders who are being incarcerated. Their addiction, the actual disease, is not being treated. They're just going to continue to use. The cycle is going to continue until and there's not just one single answer to this. Treatment, in my opinion, is actually the most important, but there are several things that have to be done. Increased availability of Narcan, naloxone, to help people stay alive. Increased availability. There are really good non-addictive anti-craving drugs and medications out there that can help people. But ultimately, unless we invest in treating people who have the disease of addiction, good long-term treatment that's driven by research and outcomes, we're just going to continue to see this cycle continue. So hopefully the president will listen to our scientific and medical organizations, will recognize that we're dealing with a health issue, and will invest in treating it as a health issue.
John, I saw a special over the weekend. I think it was 60 Minutes that talked about opioids and how did this happen? So many pills are being generated and so many pop-up pain centers in some of these main cities that don't have that kind of filter that maybe your doctor would. And so many prescriptions are just kind of being dished out with so many pills, not just 20 to get you over the hump if you have, back trouble or something. It's more like 60 in a bottle each time, and millions of pills coming through. How do we stop this?
And that's, you're exactly right. And the scope of the problem is enormous. And there are several things that are being done. One is, physicians and prescribers they have been told since the 80s and early 90s and late 80s that these drugs are not addictive, that addiction isn't really a big deal. And so in the 80s and 90s, they started flooding. Well, when you flood a nation with these pills, you're going to start developing more addicted people, and you're going to have the problem that's just a downward spiral. So one thing is educating providers that these are dangerous and addictive drugs. The next is monitoring, requiring providers to monitor. There are now, in many states, and it's becoming national, there are prescription drug monitoring programs where physicians can look and see, before they write a prescription, where they can see if patients are getting prescriptions from other places. Mm-hmm. But more importantly than anything is the CDC just last year has put forth new guidelines that are stating very clearly to physicians, opioids are not the first line of defense. They should be the last line of defense. And for chronic pain, opioids actually, in many cases, will make pain worse. So completely re-educating physicians and prescribers, monitoring what monitoring both from the DEA monitoring how much physicians and prescribers are actually prescribing, but also physicians and prescribers taking responsibility to look at the prescription drug monitoring systems to see if patients are getting pills from other places, and to look at patterns. So there's a lot that's involved in this, and we're just now barely catching up.
John Dibin, where can people find you?
Originsrecovery.com is where you can find all sorts of information, and you can contact me personally if you need it.
Dr. John Dibin, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
You bet. 814 ESPN 93.5.
Are you tired of fixing that old broken down furnace every winter? Call Matex Heating and Cooling for the perfect solution. From now through December 15th, choose special financing for 6 years or a $1,000 trade-in allowance on qualifying systems during Train's Unstoppable event. Call 355-9700 or visit matexservice.com. Serving Central Illinois since 1994. Get the fix with Matex. It's hard to stop a train.
For complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval.
Peace of mind is one of the most important benefits a bank can provide. That's why First Financial Bank is excited to offer First Provider Checking, which includes free online and mobile banking, plus identity theft monitoring and resolution service, cell phone protection, and much more. For details, visit us at first-online.com or see a First Financial representative. Some First Provider benefits require registration and activation. Insurance products are not insured by the FDIC or any federal government agency and are not a deposit of or guaranteed by the bank or any bank affiliate. Member FDIC.
I'm here with Stone Seed rep Tim Wood. What's taking place in the soybean harvest this season?
80-plus bushel soybean yield, Steve.
80-plus bushel?
That's right.
What varieties are performing with this high consistency?
3116, 3527, 3827, and our new 3628. Call me by November 10th and receive a special discount.
All right, call Tim Wood, 493-2295. That's 493-2295. Stone Seed. We know Illinois. All right, sports headlines. Another big night for the Fighting Illini basketball team. Will we get our second big recruit in basketball in a week's time?
I know. From Simeon, it's Taylor Horton Tucker. We're all abuzz about 6:30 tonight. Will he choose the Illini? Will he choose Iowa State or Xavier to improve our class of 2018? Of course, we were ecstatic. Was it inside the week that we got?
No, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, a week ago.
Sumu.
Yep.
So he could be joining the class. He's from Simeon. Taylor Horton Tucker. We're all buzz about the 6'5".
There was something that Io and Talon did not get along, and then Jeremy Warner had one of Talon's coaches on, says there ain't no friction.
I see.
So that's the word we get.
Oh, I like hearing that too.
Yep.
Speaking of basketball, Russell Westbrook with a triple-double. Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Pacers 114-96. The Bulls will host Atlanta tonight, and we're excited about Brandon Paul playing 19 minutes, scoring 7 points. San Antonio Spurs in their 117-100 win over the Miami Heat last night in South Florida. Of course, everyone's abuzz about the Houston Astros beating the LA Dodgers 7-6, and the real slugfest was from the 8th inning through the 11th inning. More from Jared Mack.
This is why they call it the Fall Classic. Houston strong, Houston resilient. The Astros trailed the Dodgers 3-1 into the 8th inning last night when they began their comeback. A single by Carlos Correa made it 3-2. Marwin Gonzalez's home run of the 9th forced extra innings. And then Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa hit back-to-back homers in the top of the 10th. But the Dodgers scored twice in the bottom of the 10th, tying it on an Enrique Hernandez 2-out single, only to lose in the 11th when George Springer hit a 2-run home run for the Astros. Dodgers came back with a run at the bottom of the 11th, but Houston prevails 7-6. World Series tied 1 game apiece. Houston will host the next 3 games beginning Friday at Minute Maid Park. At Dodger Stadium, I'm Jared Max, Fox News.
I wish the Atlanta volleyball team, it was so close.
They're good. They play Minnesota up there. It was tough.
Minnesota's number 5.
Yeah, they're good.
So, and it took 5. The Illini 7-4 on the Big Ten season and 16-6 on their regular season. Our Illini football team in action against number 5 Wisconsin at 11 a.m. on Saturday. And in college football tonight, it's 20-ranked Stanford at Oregon State. NFL action tonight is Miami at Baltimore. That's pretty much sports.
My favorite moment of the World Series last night was Vin Scully. I mean, Vin Scully, just as a broadcaster, he's just 67 years he did the play-by-play. For the last however many years, they didn't have a color guy because they didn't need one. Vince just told stories. Vin Scully was greeted by an ovation I have never heard given a broadcaster.
That's terrific.
It was remarkable. Vin Scully threw out the first pitch, or so he said he was, till he had to call in Fernando Valenzuela, a star pitcher from the 80s. It was a really good moment. Steve Yeager caught the pitch, but he had everybody in the palm of his hands. It was remarkable.
Awesome.
Here we go with your weather.
Plenty of sunshine, Stevie J. We've got a high 66 expected and 40-hour low tonight. More clouds tomorrow, though, with a high 48, low 35. That parade steps off for homecoming at 6 o'clock and winds through Campus Town. Go Illini. We got the Illini game against Wisconsin, 11 o'clock Saturday. Rather cool as you bundle up. We've got a high 44 expected and down to 30 in the evening. Sunshine Sunday and a high 50. Currently 40 on ESPN 93.5.
And Joe Buck said, by far the greatest play-by-play guy ever. And I'm Jack Buck's son. I mean, Vin was just stunning. How good and captivating. 820 ESPN 93.5.
From the Fox Business Network, Coca-Cola is making more money. Its recent quarter top forecasts. Coke says it's being helped by expanding beyond soda. Sales increased for juice, dairy, tea, and coffee beverages. Soda sales held steady. Sales of water and sports drinks declined. The company says Coke Zero Sugar sales increased in the summer quarter. Boeing's earnings were stronger than expected. The company is raising its forecast for the year. Iowa will not be the location for the new U.S. Toyota Mazda manufacturing plant. Iowa pitched a site in Cedar Rapids, but the state says the location was rejected. Nebraska also had submitted a location that was turned down. It's believed all three finalists for the new factory are in the southeast. The Dow gained 167 points yesterday to a record. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Friends, are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, you could be paying too much. Now you can take Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, for just $2 per tablet. $2 for a 20-milligram tablet, saving $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy delivering Sildenafil to your doorstep. Go to MarleyGenerics.com. That's MARLEY, MarleyGenerics.com. Or call 1-800-452-1760. That's 1-800-452-1760.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Are you sure you're on track to reach your retirement goals? Wondering how much money you'll need to last your lifetime? Whether you're retiring in a few weeks or a few years, we can analyze your needs and create a plan that's right for you. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When you need hit music, you need Champaign-Urbana's hit music station. All the hits, Q96, where they start every workday with a Q96-minute music marathon. A proud sister station to ESPN Radio 93.5. It's official. Weekends are now reserved for football, so come watch it at Buffalo Wild Wings with other fans who are there for the same reason, to watch sports. In a place packed with roaring fans and a vast menu of food, it's built for fans and it's home for football. And like a quarterback's top receiver, B-Dubs has a perfect wing sauce pairing for our Blue Moon Belgian white beer called Blue Moon BBQ. Available for a limited time while supplies last, and only at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Habib, and this is your Motivational Minute. This time of year, we look around and we see farmers reaping their harvest. They planted many days ago back in spring, and they waited, harvesting nothing until now. Reminds me of what Robert Louis Stevenson said, that we should not judge each day by the harvest we reap, but by the seeds that we plant. What about our personal selves? To have a good harvest a few months or years from today, we know that we must be planting. So here's a question for reflection. What are we planting today that will yield good fruit in the future? What character trait are we cultivating? What relationships are we building? What lessons are we learning that will produce a good harvest in our future? Think of it as an investment in ourselves. We are valuable and priceless, and we must not allow time to slip away without intentionally sowing. We reap what we sow, so let's sow wisely. I'm Habib, and this was your Motivational Minute. I hope you have a terrific and wonderful week.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. Eats and Sweets Extravaganza, Hilton Garden Inn. That's coming up tonight, 5:30 to 8:30. Aaron Bennett, star, Channel 3 news anchor. Aaron, how are you?
Hey, Stevie. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Why are you involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, so my wife used to work for the organization, and she worked part-time for them. She was in charge of their Rantoul office, and so I learned a lot about what they did just through her work. And there was an opportunity to join the board. They had an opening, and so I was excited just to kind of be a part of the organization that she was involved in. And since I've been on the board, she no longer works for them, but I'm still on the board, and just gotten to meet a lot of great people and get to see firsthand the mission that they do and the impact they can make on kids throughout the area, throughout the country, really. And so it's been really cool to be involved with them.
Channel 3 news anchor Aaron Bennett. So what happens tonight? What do I get if I come?
All right, so here's the deal. It's Eats and Sweets Extravaganza. It used to be called Chocolate Extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
If any of you have been there before.
Yep.
But it's a lot more than chocolates. We changed the name. It's a lot more food. It's like if you've ever been to Taste of CU, where you just get to sample food from local restaurants. It's like that, except you pay your money at the door, and then you can eat whatever you want without paying any more. So it starts at 5:30. It'll be done probably by 8, but definitely by 8:30 tonight. And it's $50 to get in. You can just show up at the door. And $50 gets you in, and you get to sample food from 20, 25 different local restaurants. There's drinks, there's desserts, and there's a short program just to kind of learn more about what Big Brothers Big Sisters does. I'm emceeing that program tonight, and it'll give you an opportunity to kind of learn about what we do, an opportunity to volunteer, and give financially if that's on your heart to do that tonight as well. So it's just a fun night to kind of hang out, have some fun, whether you want to bring some people from your company or a group of friends, a small group from your church, whatever. Just coming out tonight and have a good time for a few hours.
It's at the Hilton Garden Inn. I know that it's real special and moving when some of these kids talk about what their big brother or big sister have done in their life and the impact they've had and how their grades have gotten better. Let's talk about that aspect of it all, Aaron.
Yeah, it truly makes a huge difference. And, tonight you get to hear testimonials of bigs and littles who have been matched, some for just a few months and some for years. And, what you hear over and over again is the big brother or big sister talking about how their little has maybe made more of an impact on them than they've made on their little. And you hear the stories of how their grades have come up. They've stayed out of trouble. The last several years, the statewide Big Brother and Big Sister of the Year is from Central Illinois, whether it's from Champaign or Decatur. So they're going to be there tonight. So the statewide award winner for the Big Brother, Big Sister of the Year, they're going to talk about why they're involved and what they do. And, the statistics back it up. I'm not going to pretend to know them all off the top of my head, but it's true.
Yeah.
When they have a mentor like that, it truly makes a huge difference. And it costs money to do that. These bigs and the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, they volunteer to do this, but it takes a lot of money for programming, for staffing to make sure that they're matched correctly,
right.
And that they don't just set the match and then just let them go. And all right, guys, you're on your own. They stay. The staff stays in tune with them and they check up with them to make sure that both sides are really getting the most out of.
Well, listen, good you're involved. Lastly, Unity High School's in 4A, and you used to be a sports guy. Is that all just based on enrollment at a school where a football team is placed in the playoffs?
It really is. And, Unity, I think by my math, is the second or third smallest school in 4A.
Yeah,
so they were just right on that 3A, 4A cutoff. And basically, you can play in one class kind of all year based on your enrollment, but once the 256 playoff teams are figured out, they re-rank them all based on enrollment. And so if a lot of, 3A teams were really good and made the playoffs, that could fill up 3A and bump Unity up to 4A. So
I think you just have a school assembly and say 20 of you got to go. I think
they need to close the borders off, I think.
We need a wall. We need a wall. Aaron Bennett, good luck tonight. Hope it goes well. Thanks for your contributions and your work with Big Brothers Big Sister, my friend. Keep up your good work as an anchor at Channel 3. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
Aaron Bennett, you bet. It's the ultimate grazer's delight where you can graze 25 different spots and keep going back. $50 tonight, Hilton Garden Inn, 5:30 to 8:30 Eats and Sweets Extravaganza. 8:29.
It's time to get connected with yourself and with the Leonard Recreation Center. You deserve time to be active and healthy. With membership starting at just $80 per year, it's easier than ever. Leonard Recreation Center features an indoor walking track, weight room, open gym, and an indoor playground with supervised playtime. Perfect for busy parents who want to stay healthy. Get moving and join now. Don't delay. Mention this ad for a 13-month free. Visit ChampagneParks.com or call 217-398-2550 for more information on membership. Leonard Recreation Center. Fit for you and your family.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000-plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 30.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump gives a speech this afternoon about opioid addiction. He'll declare it a public health emergency.
The opioid is a tremendous emergency. What's going on there? The drugs pouring into the country have gotten, and I tell you what, we've made a big impact, but still, we need the wall. You know, part of the reason we need the wall is for drugs.
The president with Fox Business Network's Lou Dobbs. A 10-year-old girl with cerebral palsy is detained by immigration agents in Texas after emergency surgery.
Rosa Maria Hernandez is undocumented and set to be deported to Mexico when she is medically cleared from her recent gallbladder surgery. She's been in the U.S. since she was 3 months old. Her adult cousin, who is a U.S. citizen, was with Hernandez when she was taken to a Corpus Christi hospital on Tuesday, followed by Border Protection agents from a nearby immigration checkpoint.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Fox News. We report, you decide.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the ServPro cleanup team that served our local community for the past 25 years. The ServPro of Champaign, Urbana, and Vermilion County restoration specialists are trained and here to help. When fire or water damage strike your home or business, strike back by calling the Green Trucks or visit them online at ServProChampaignUrbana.com. They're faster to any size disaster, and they'll make it like it never even happened. ServProChampaignUrbana.com. Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfied customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorscode.com. There's only one place that will clean your car like it deserves to be cleaned. Market View Car Wash and Lube. With the only no-touch tunnel in town, Market View Car Wash will hand wash and dry your vehicle for the best wash in town. Free wash with any lube and filter, and home of the $7 car wash. Or buy unlimited car washes for a month, just $19.99.
Market View Car Wash and Lube. The touchless car wash shining through for you. Market View Car Wash and Lube.
Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana, I-74 and Cunningham Avenue is the sponsor of ESPN's What's Up With That segment. Napleton's Auto Park is downstate Illinois' #1 volume dealer with over 2,000 new and certified pre-owned vehicles in stock. Kids who are allowed to take an occasional sip of wine or beer are more likely to drink alcohol as teenagers, new research shows. What's up with that? I'm Ryan Monahan. The 21-year wait time to drink legally in the United States is often met with controversy. The age requirement enforcement is also set higher than many other countries around the world. But letting your kids try alcohol too early just may backfire. The recent study comes out of Brown University. Experts studied almost 600 sixth graders in Rhode Island over 3 years. The researchers found that kids who were allowed to take sips of alcohol to, quote, try it, were about 5 times more likely to have a full drink by 9th grade. They were also 4 times more likely to have gotten drunk by 9th grade, Live Science reports. This new research goes against the European thought process that allowing kids to drink alcohol at younger ages destigmatizes it and therefore makes them more responsible drinkers later in life. What's up with that? I'm Ryan Monahan. That's my take, post yours on ESPNCU.com. This What's Up With That segment was brought to you by Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana. Napleton's Auto Park is your regional buying destination with Toyota, Scion, Hyundai, Kia, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Volkswagen, and over 300 certified pre-owned vehicles.
328-2424, Tapman's Towing, 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing, 328-2424, Tapman's Towing, 328-2424, Tapman's Towing, 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing, we have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. And at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. So it's never been easier to turn 500 strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 5353 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5353.
All right, 8:35, ESPN 93.5, 3-day forecast brought to you by Honda BMW Champaign. DriveChampaign.com, Honda BMW. Go say hey to Ben Quattrone.
High 65 today with the sunshine. 40-hour low tonight. I just wish we could keep this forecast for today.
Yeah.
48 the high tomorrow, down to 35 with more clouds. Cloudy on Saturday, high 44, low 30. Sunny on Sunday, high 50, low 38. Right now the temperature is at 40. ESPN 93.5.
All right. Homecoming, University of Illinois. It's the parade tomorrow at 6. Pep rally, 7. Concert 7:30. Gonna be fun. Gonna be chilly. So bundle. And it is. I mean, criminy, it's almost November. I mean, next Wednesday's November, right? Halloween is coming up Tuesday. Little trick-or-treaters. Still trying to wrestle with what I'm giving away. Because I just can't. I've called chocolate and sugar rat poison, so now I'm kind of... everything in moderation. So there's that. Or I could give out little tubes of toothpaste, but then I'll get egged. So I have to think about all this. Camera, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you this morning, Stevie?
Political strategist, Clifton Network Partners, Camera. Clifton has joined us. Well, there's a smoking gun email revealing President Obama's DOJ blocked conservative groups some settlement funds. GOP lawmaker says they goofed around with the IRS. We know that. I mean, listen, you've got the dossier. You got Uranium One. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, does it make a sound? If the media doesn't cover the story, is it a story?
Well, there you go. Do you remember? Are you having a sense of deja vu here? Because when Holder was still in the White House, we were talking about this. And I don't know, it just wasn't important to the mainstream media. But this started, and it's well documented. In fact, for your listeners, George Will has a wonderful op-ed piece that ran in the Washington Post. So if you Google slush fund George Will, it'll come up, and it's really worth reading because it covers a lot of ground and a lot of detail we don't have time for. But the most important thing is that all of this talk and noise today and yesterday and the day before, this is not about the real issue here. The real issue here is that the Obama administration willfully and with intent denied Congress their right to control the purse and the people's right to know what was being done with money. Have you heard anybody talk about that?
Yeah. I tell you what, I think I think the long-term story, at least for this minute, for me, is that we have completely lost my watchdog. Because, camera, the uranium one is a story. Now, ABC, NBC, CBS.
And it's been a story.
Well,
it's been a story for years.
You've got to at least ask questions to make sure bribery wasn't involved and some illicit something with FBI. I mean, you have got to look into it. And the way you gauge it is that if you flip it around and the Donald Trump Foundation received $145 million to give Russia 20% of our uranium, would people cover it? And the answer is the impeachment proceedings would begin late today.
Exactly. That is exactly right. But that's the difference between what happened in the Obama years and the collusion that was ubiquitous in government, in media, in the private sector, and for different reasons. The media because they worshipped him. The private sector because they feared him, because they knew he wasn't on their side. And you know, that's the reason he and Holder were able to extort millions, if not billions, from companies and particularly from Bank of America. You know, they threatened Bank of America very specifically. This was reported, and no one cared.
Yeah. And this is the part where they said you're going to pay a fine. They paid the fine. They gave it to groups like Black Lives Matter, right? But I think they were beneficiaries of these. But I've never heard squat about it because it's not going to fit the template. But you know, in Russia, in China, you got to toe the line with the media. You got to read the right stuff. We're doing it here as a partisan thing, and it's a shame because I do not think the country works without my watchdog.
No.
And I'm talking Republicans, Democrats. You go after the story. You go after the facts, and I don't care where it leads. And you just have to be like that. And there are journalists that are terrific out there, but the leaders of the news division control the deal. And so they don't see the light of day on stories that they might want to cover.
Well, think about it. What was the first strategic thing that President Obama did when he got into office? He hired the close-in relatives, either by marriage or by blood, of the 4 leading news agencies in the country.
Yeah.
To be on his personal administrative staff. Now, your tax dollars paid for killing these stories.
No, it's a shame. It really, really is a shame. And then
it is a shame. You know what? There is some light. There is some light in this tunnel, and it's not a train. The light at the end of this tunnel is that whether you like the Trump administration or you like Donald Trump or you don't, what we get is him trying to do what he promised to do that got him elected within the law. The problem that we have is that the media is still not on our side, and the courts are reluctantly coming to our side. And, you know, I don't know how long that will take them. But the senior leadership of the Republican Party needs to get on our side too.
Well, there's a lot that can be done. I'd almost plea bargain the Hillary stuff if they just pass all Trump stuff and just say, listen, if it doesn't work, you can vote him out. But let's at least try something versus obstruction and just trying to get power back, because I think that's the whole goal of the Chuck Schumers of the world. They're not getting anything done for me. It's all about who can reclaim power based on strategy. And I just think it's the wrong thing.
Well, you can tell by their fundraising numbers, though, Stevie, that they're not making any ground that way. So they're taking their power in the administration.
Yeah.
That's where but from the people, they're not raising any money. I mean, at least not by comparison with the GOP fundraising.
Well, I tell you, this is going to go on a while, Cameron, and I'd rather get health care done and taxes and all these other things, and we're going to be in Hillary and Bill Clinton for what, years now? I mean, this is like, really? Wow. Cameron Clifton, how do people find you?
They do what you want. They get their money.
Well,
exactly. I'm doing good.
Where can people find you?
Where I am?
Yep. Where can people find you?
I'm in Dallas.
Where can people find you online?
With working people. That's exactly right. Well, God bless you, and I'll look forward to visiting with you again. Call me anytime.
Clifton Network Partners. You can find Camera Clifton out there. Just search Camera Clifton if you'd like. ESPN 93.5, 843.
Is your car's check engine light on? Got that sinking feeling something's wrong? Don't worry, see your CarX man. Your check engine light's the most important and misunderstood light on your dashboard, and CarX Tire and Auto can help diagnose the problem for free. The professional mechanics at CarX will use advanced diagnostics to pinpoint your vehicle's issues, and often the result is something minor. Don't ignore that check engine light. See your Champaign and Danville CarX man today to get your free check engine light scan.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
The Champaign County Forest Preserve District offers lots of great ways for you to get closer to nature. There's miles and miles of hiking trails, lakes and ponds for fishing, canoeing, or kayaking, a campground for camping, and a golf course to enjoy an afternoon on our beautiful 18-hole golf course, or try out foot golf. And have you heard? The Kickapoo Rail Trail is now open, a great multi-use recreational trail between Urbana and St. Joe, where you can hike, bike, or run over 6 miles one way. Go to ccfpd.org. That's ccfpd.org to see what the Champaign County Forest Preserve District has to offer to get you closer to nature.
Dirty Dancing, the record-breaking live theater sensation, is finally here. Relive the magic of Johnny and Baby's classic love story live on stage. Spectacular dancing, passionate romance, and all your favorite songs from the movie. Dirty Dancing. Don't miss it. You'll have the time of your life.
Part in State Farm Center's 2017-2018 WCIA-3 Broadway series. Tickets 866-ILLINI-1 or statefarmcenter.com.
Hello, this is Shane Coulter from Country Arbors Nursery. Country Arbors is having our biggest sale of the year. Every plant in the nursery is at least 20% off, with select plants up to 50% off. These aren't merely leftover plants from the spring. We've been bringing in fresh new plants to keep the nursery fully stocked for the last big push going into winter. The best time to plant is now. Less transplant shock and less money. So come out to Country Arbors Nursery for the best selection of trees, shrubs, and perennials, and they're all on sale. For more information and directions, go to countryarbors.com. I'm Shane Coulter from Country Arbors Nursery, and have a nice day.
Get your 2018 season pass of the Orange and Blue, the University of Illinois Golf Course, today. New pass holders play free for the rest of 2017, while current pass holders receive a $50 gift card if paid by December 31st. Season passes of the U of I Golf Course include unlimited green fees for 2018, 1 bucket of range balls each day, and 10% off golf shop merchandise. Grab your 2018 season pass to the U of I Golf Course today and receive $100 each time you refer a friend. The University of Illinois Golf Course in Savoy.
At the Y, it's about more than sports and working out. It's about making our community better, living a healthier life, spending time together as a family. It's where you can go to learn and play after school or work. The Y strengthens communities by helping kids reach their full potential, encouraging healthy living, and inspiring social responsibility. Join the Stevens Family Y. Visit sf-ymca.net for more details.
All right, here we go. Sports headlines, ESPN 93.5.
It's decision day at Simeon. 6:30 tonight. Will we get our class of 2018 improved with this 6'5 senior, Talon Horton Tucker? Let's hope he chooses the Illini. Also in the mix will be Iowa State and Xavier. We'll see where he goes. We had the Bulls hosting Atlanta tonight. As far as NFL action, Miami is at Baltimore. We're looking forward to the Illini taking on number 5 Wisconsin. We had number 5 Minnesota beating our volleyball team yesterday. And the soccer team wrapped up the regular season with Iowa on top 1-0. Of course, the big trending story, Game 3 tomorrow in Houston, as that series is tied at a game apiece. Houston Astros beat the Dodgers 7-6 yesterday with a record 8 homers in Game 2.
Heck of a Game 2, Game 3 tomorrow night in Houston, and the Astros are undefeated at home this year in the postseason. That's sports.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Dan Lebitard and Stu Gatz.
Maybe Brady is an unprecedented kind of human being in how he cares about this more than anyone in the history of aging.
He never gets hurt. He was hurt one time in his career. He's never hurt. In that freakish game where everyone's getting hurt, he never gets hurt. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a product of TB12 and the training that he's doing or it's just luck. I have no idea.
Well, he said that he knows how to fall on his shoulder in a way that Aaron Rodgers doesn't.
I'm just going to say what's going on here. His body still doesn't look like a guy who's taking care of himself to the extremes that he's detailing. You kind of figure that Tom Brady would be this specimen if he's doing all these things to keep playing at this high level. He looks like he did when he was playing when he started.
Flabby. Yeah, a little flabby.
Well, but what I want to put it on the poll, Guillermo. Is Tom Brady a little flabby?
Oh, he is.
The part that I'm interested in, though, and exploring conversationally, because I'm not making any accusations.
How will the recent massive data breach affect you? Is your personal information at risk? If you are a Discover credit card member, there's an important action you can take to help protect yourself right now. Go online and sign up for Discover's free Social Security alerts. Once activated, we will alert you if your Social Security number is found on any one of thousands of risky websites. Learn more and sign up for free alerts at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
AutoZone presents the oil change. Regular oil changes protect your engine from wear and tear, helping your car roll well beyond the 100,000-mile mark. Right now, get any 5 quarts of Pennzoil full synthetic or high-mileage motor oil and an STP filter for $17.99 after $20 prepaid Visa card by mail-in rebate. So visit your local AutoZone. With over 5,000 locations, the right supplies and good advice are just around the corner. Let's get you what you need. See store for restrictions and details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. All right, check your ESPN 93.5 3-day forecast from the National Weather Service.
Looking good with the sunshine today. High 66, 40 our low tonight. Partly cloudy and a high 49 tomorrow, down to around 35. More clouds coming our way Saturday, high only 44 and then down to 30 in the evening. Sunshine back in the forecast on Sunday with a high around 50. We're currently at 41, ESPN 93.5.
At Busey, we are dedicated to enhancing and preserving your financial future, simplifying the complexities around your finances while maximizing the opportunities available to you. Whatever your dream, our wealth management team can guide you through every important financial decision. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola is your local furniture expert. They've been in business over 50 years and their sales team has over 150 years of experience. They carry everything you need to furnish your whole house with top name brands such as Broyhill, Lane, Ashley, Smith Brothers, Bemco mattresses, and Mohawk carpeting. Their showroom is huge with over 30,000 square feet of furniture. Stop by Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola today or visit kelseyfurniture.com, K-E-L-S-E-Y, Kelsey Furniture, or like them on Facebook. Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Hello, this is Shane Coulter from Country Arbors Nursery. Country Arbors is having our biggest sale of the year. Every plant in the nursery is at least 20% off, with select plants up to 50% off. These aren't merely leftover plants from the spring. We've been bringing in fresh new plants to keep the nursery fully stocked for the last big push going into winter. The best time to plant is now. Less transplant shock and less money. So come out to Country Arbors Nursery for the best selection of trees, shrubs, and perennials, and they're all on sale. For more information and directions, go to countryarbors.com. I'm Shane Coulter from Country Arbors Nursery, and have a nice day.
Compare the window products on the market today, and Marvin Windows are superior in so many ways. At Alexander Lumber, windows are a big part of their business. So why Marvin Windows? Alexander Lumber's customers deserve the best, and naturally Marvin Windows are their choice. Easy to use, durable, versatile, peak energy efficiency built right in. For remodeling, replacement, and new construction, Marvin Windows excels with double hung window options for any application. Simply put, they're the best of the modern window maker's craft. Champaign's Alexander Lumber is your Marvin Windows headquarters.
You ought to Google Vin Scully throwing out the first pitch last night, because he's a walking example of comfort when it comes to being in front of people, and just how he handled that. It was amazing to me. This guy turns 90 in a month. Wow. And he walks out and he's, just says, boy, it's a long walk to the mound. And the crowd, I've never heard a baseball crowd, I've never heard any crowd give the ovation they gave to Vin Scully. He was a storyteller. The guy was remarkable. If you've ever seen The Greatest Game, or that's The Greatest Game, For the Love of the Game, it's a Kevin Costner kind of chick flick, but it's really a good baseball movie. And he's the announcer in that game, too, and he's a storyteller. And toward the end of his career, he had nobody on the microphone with him. He just did it. And he said, it's time for Dodger baseball. He said, I've done this for 67 years. I'm going to count it down, and we're all going to say it. And he didn't say what? 3, 2, 1, it's time for Dodger. Everybody. 50-some thousand people totally in unison. Nice. You know how hard it is to connect with as a broadcaster, to make eye contact in the comfortable way Vin Scully did for so many years. And for Jack Buck, who I thought was a Hall of Fame legendary broadcaster for the Cardinals, for Joe Buck to say, Vin Scully, the best ever by far. I mean, that's how good 67 years of broadcasting excellence.
Quite a compliment.
So he's out there on the mound to throw the first pitch. He says, it doesn't look like I can because of my rotator cuff. So let's call in the bullpen. Fernando Valenzuela. The crowd goes crazy for Fernando Valenzuela, who was a superstar Cy Young Award winner in the 80s. And then Steve Yeager, the 1981 MVP for the World Series champion Dodgers. I mean, the crowd went crazy. It was
nice.
Just a wonderful 5 to 10 minutes.
That's great.
You Google and just notice how comfortable and how easy it is for him. And it's just magnificently done. A 10 out of 10 for me. Vin Scully, Google his first pitch for the Dodgers Game 2 World Series. All right, the Jeremy Warner Show, Willie or Woney, Talon Horton-Smith, Tucker. Talon Horton-Tucker. We'll hear from Jeremy and Austin Berkland coming up. Tan Carp today, 6:30 for the announcement. Will we get that player? Diane, we'll meet you on Friday.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday.
Hi, I'm Habib, and this is your Motivational Minute. This time of year, we look around and we see farmers reaping their harvest. They planted many days ago back in spring, and they waited, harvesting nothing until now. Reminds me of what Robert Louis Stevenson said, that we should not judge each day by the harvest we reap, but by the seeds that we plant. What about our personal selves? To have a good harvest a few months or years from today, we know that we must be planting. So here's a question for reflection. What are we planting today that will yield good fruit in the future? What character trait are we cultivating? What relationships are we building? What lessons are we learning that will produce a good harvest in our future? Think of it as an investment in ourselves. We are valuable and priceless, and we must not allow time to slip away without intentionally sowing. We reap what we sow, so let's sow wisely. I'm Habib, and this was your Motivational Minute. I hope you have a terrific and wonderful week.
Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full-system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfied customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorsco.com. We tip our cap every month, and this month, Michelle Robinson, Urbana Police, thank you. Do you fear when you go out now because of this lack of respect or the, as you say, hatred toward police? Are you fearful at all, or are there situations where your instincts say, this is different, got to be really on my best here?
We have to stay very vigilant when it comes to even the simplest of calls that we have, because you never know what you're going to encounter. It can be something very simple that can turn into something that you never expected. Am I fearful? No. The way that I police, I gain respect. I've never taken somebody to jail that hasn't thanked me by the time that I've left them there. Because, I was taught you respect everybody. If you respect them, they respect you. And that is something that I hold dear to my heart. And when I deal with anybody, I treat them the same, anybody else. Whether it's somebody I deal with on a regular basis, they're treated like I've never met them before.
Brought to you by SK Exteriors. Their website, callsktoday.com.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your Trane comfort specialist. Right now is a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. For a limited time only, we're offering 0% interest for 6 years. That's no interest with equal payments and approved credit for 6 years on any qualifying Trane system. Or, here's another way you can save on a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. Trade in your old system. For a limited time, you can get a $1,000 trade-in allowance on any qualifying Trane system. So pick your best deal. No interest for 6 years? years or a $1,000 trade-in allowance and start saving. Call 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands for program details. Call 888-653-0051 for details about credit costs and terms. Regular APR is 28.99 for newly opened accounts. APR may vary, subject to credit approval.
Hey, Central Illinois farmers, wouldn't you like a 10 or 20 bushel bump on your corn yields? At Stone Seed, their corn hybrids will get you the results you're wanting. 63-68, 64-48, 61-48. These are the hybrids that get you there. Stone Seed's corn lineup is second to none. Ask Tim Wood about 63-68 and its dominating third-party yield trials. Call Tim Wood by November 10th for a special discount. 493-2295. 493-2295. Stone Seed. We know Illinois.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. And at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. So it's never been easier to turn 500 strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 5353 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5353.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call Van Parkin today at 217-352-0012, and he can work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford. Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.